Hello everyone, how are you? So today we will do the revision of chapter number 7. Okay, chapter 1, 2 and 3 we have completed. These are the chapter of PA 1, 2, 3 and 7. Okay, so now we will do the chapter number 7, revision of chapter number 7, weather and climate. Okay, in your previous lecture you have completed the revision of chapter number 3, the northern plains, the second physical division of India. Okay, and after then about the plateau region, the desert region and the coastal plains, you will read in your term 2 chapters, chapter 4, 5 and 6. Okay, so today we will do the revision of chapter 7, weather and climate, which is the fourth chapter of our PA 1. Okay, so now what did you learn in this chapter? You learned about the weather and climate. See what is called weather and what is called climate. You learned that weather. What is weather? Weather is an atmospheric condition of a given place for a specific time. It means weather is a temporary condition of a place. Okay, it can change frequently. And climate, you can see the weather. You can see the elements. Which are the elements? I have told you in the lecture video that many things are elements of weather, which tell us about that how weather is today, like sunny and the rain and the wind. Okay, wind, rain, sun, these are the elements of weather. And clouds. Okay, if we see many clouds in the sky, then we say that today weather is cloudy. If we see that the sun is brightening, so we say that the weather of today is sunny. If we feel that wind is blowing speedily, then we say that the weather of the particular day is windy. It means these are the elements of the weather which show about the weather. Okay, now climate, you learned the climate, that climate is also a part of weather. Okay, when any type of weather stay for a long time on a large area, or the average time of a year, when a weather stay on an average time of a year on any big place, known as the climate of that particular area. It means weather became condition when it stay on a large place for a long time. And I told you that climate change after 30 or 40 years. You have also learnt about the Mavashin Ram and Cherrapunji. I told you then I was a student, I learned that Cherrapunji is a place in the Meghalaya. Meghalaya is the eastern state of India, and Cherrapunji is in Meghalaya. Was the place which had made the we can say that which has made the highest score on that time to receive the heavy rainfall in the world. But now Mavashin Ram is a place in the same state, Meghalaya, which is known as the that is receiving highest rainfall in the world. So this is showing the change of climate. Okay, so we can say that weather and climates are relative to each other. Okay, if any type of weather stay on a large area for a long time, it's known as the climate of that particular area. I told you that the average weather of the desert region is hot and dry. So we can say that the climate of a desert region is hot and dry, and in the on the mountain region, the cold climate stay in the the average time period of the year is with the cold weather. So the climate of that particular area is called the cold. Okay, so what is the weather? Weather is an atmospheric condition of a given place for a specific time. It means it is a temporary condition of a particular place. Okay, for a particular time. Specific time means particular time. It is not permanent. It can be changed after a few hours, after a day, after a week or month. Okay, and climate, the weather condition, see, the weather condition prevailing over a large area for a long period is known as climate. For a long period means 30 to 35 is given here, and climate change after 30 or 40 years. Okay, and in this chapter you learned that you learned the differences between the weather and climate. See, what are the differences between weather and climate? Weather is a temporary and change frequently. Weather is a temporary and change frequently. Okay, in a small area. For example, Delhi. Okay, now climate. Climate is a permanent weather condition in a large area. For example, India. Which type of climate India has? India has a continental type of climate. Okay, so now factors affecting climate. In this chapter you also learned that many factors affect the climate of a place. First is the distance from the equator. I told you that any place which is near to the equator is near to the equator will be very hot. Okay, and when we go far from the equator, the climate became cool, and when we reach on the pole, the climate will become cold. Okay, when we reach on the pole, climate will become cold. Okay, and I told you, see, what is the reason behind that the place which is located on the equator line is remains very hot. The reason is the direct rays. See, the direct rays of sun, this area receives the direct rays of sun, which is known as the strong rays. These rays are very bright and hot. Okay, and what is equator? Equator is a latitude which passing through the center of the earth from east to west. Okay, from east to west, like this. And we have many latitudes on our globe. Okay, and 0-degree globe known as the equator, which is passing through the center of the globe. Okay, these are an imaginary line. You have learnt about these lines in your first chapter, so I think you don't have any doubt about the equator. If you have any doubt, you can ask me in your online lecture. Okay, now you have already learnt in this chapter that altitude, height above the sea level. Altitude means height. Height is also affecting the climate of a place. When we go downside, the temperature will increase. Okay, and when we go upside, the temperature will be decrease. What is the reason behind? When we go on the height, air pressure will become low. Okay, and when we will come downside, air pressure will decrease. Okay, because, and why this type of thing happen, that when we go on the height, the air pressure is very lower on the height, because of the gravitation power of the earth. Okay, the gravitation power of the earth pull down the air to the downside. Okay, so height, on the height, the density of air became very low, so air pressure became very low there, so this decreased the temperature. and on the bottom side, on the land near the sea or ground, the winds are very dense. Okay, the airs are very dense. So this thing decrease. It means many hot winds are near to land. So the area which is near to sea or when we come downside will become very hot. It decrease our temperature. Okay, so and you also learned that any place, I told you, you have learned that any place which is located on the equator line became very hot throughout the year, but exception is if every, see here, what do you know, I told you any place which is located on the equator will be snow covered if its height is above 5,500 meter. And I told you and I gave you the example of Kilimanjaro. You will also read about this chapter in your 5th standard. I told you in your previous lecture also. It will come in your 3rd chapter in your 5th standard. Okay, so Mount Kilimanjaro is located in Africa and it is also located on the equator line, but its peak always remain snow covered, and the reason is the altitude of the Kilimanjaro. Altitude means the height of the Kilimanjaro. The do you know is giving any place which has height above 5,500 meter will remain snow covered. Okay, so that is the reason the Kilimanjaro, because the height of Kilimanjaro is above 5,500 meter, that is the reason that it's remain snow covered throughout the year. Okay, so now see, in this chapter you also learned that distance from the sea is also affect the climate. Okay, and you also learned the direction of winds. I told you the direction of winds also affect the climate of a place. Winds coming from the sea bring rain. You learned that. Okay, firstly we will see the distance from the sea, how the distance from the sea affect the climate of any place. See, the land heats up and cools faster than the water. Okay, and the sea is never too hot nor too cold and has a moderate climate in surrounding areas. That is the reason the place which is near to the sea having moderate climate, like Mumbai, the climate of Mumbai is moderate means neither too hot nor too cold. Okay, you will read about the distance from the sea in your 5th standard also. Okay, now the direction of wind also affect the climate. In this chapter you learned that when winds coming from the sea bring rain, and when the winds coming from the dry area, they don't have humidity or they don't have moisture, so they do not rain there. Okay, so India gets rain in summer from the southwest winds, monsoon coming from the sea. Winds coming from the land are dry and do not cause rain. Okay, and you learned that direction of mountains also affect the climate of a place. I gave you the example of Aravalli hills. I told you that in Rajasthan, Aravalli hills are like this. See, I'm going to again show you. See, as you know, here are our Rajasthan. Okay, this is our Rajasthan, and how the Aravalli mountains like this, they are parallel like this in this direction, and winds coming from the Arabian Sea. Okay, they, what happen here, they passing through these gaps. Okay, they do not cause rain here. See beta, kisi when if these these winds will if these winds will perpendicular, the direction of the winds will perpendicular on the mountain, it cause the rain. Perpendicular means if these winds come from like this, they were cutting the mountains. If the direction of the winds like this, it will cause the rain. But the direction of winds are like this. These are not perpendicular. The winds are passing through these gap and they do not touch the mountain and do not back near the region of the Rajasthan. Okay, and these brings go like this, below like this, and after then these winds cause rain in the northern plains of India and also the mountain region. Okay, so the direction of mountain is also cause wind, affect the climate of any place. And in this chapter you also learned that season of India. You learned that according to season, India has three type of according to climate, India has three type of season. First is called the winter season, second is called the summer season, and third is called the rainy season. Okay, so now we will do the revision sheet. The revision explanation of this chapter is completed. You will read this chapter again in your 5th standard. It will come in 3rd chapter. Okay, so here are the keynotes. So weather is the state of atmosphere of a place for a short period of time. Weather is temporary and changes frequently. You have learnt about these. So these are the key points which will help you to do the exercise of this revision sheet. Climate prevails over a large area and for a long period, and weather is a part of climate. I told you weather and climates are related to each other. These are a part. Okay, now the climate depends upon many factors like height, latitude, distance from sea, and direction of winds. And you have also learned that places located near the equator are hot and wet. Places located at a height are cool, and places located near the sea coast have moderate climate. Okay, you also learned in this chapter that winds coming from the sea bring rain, while winds coming from the land are dry. Relief rainfall is caused when mountains lie at the right angle of the winds. Okay, the Aravalli hills are not in the right angle, so they do not cause rain in Rajasthan. Condition of absence of rain for a long time known as drought. Okay, what is called drought? Condition of absence of rain for a long time known as drought. And hot currents increases temperature, and the cold current decreases it. Okay, here will be cold. Okay, do this. Now you learned that days are hot and nights are cold in desert. With respect to climate, India has 3 seasons: winter, summer, and monsoon. So these will help you to do this exercise. See the exercise, write true or false against each statement. Okay, days are hot and nights are cold in plains. No, this is false. This is desert. Okay, so this statement is false. Now second is places located near the equator are hot and wet. Yes, true. Weather is not a part of climate. No, this is false. This is false because climate is a one type of weather. Okay, now hot current increases temperature and cold current decreases it. Yes, this is also true. Now temperature decreases at the rate of 1 degree Celsius after every 165 meter of heights. Yes, this is also true, beta. When we go on the height, okay, when we will reach on 165 meter, temperature will decrease 1 degree Celsius. Again 165, and again we will go on the height of 165, it will decrease more 1 degree Celsius, it means 2 degrees Celsius. Okay, so now India has 5 seasons according to climate. No, India has 3 seasons according to climate. Winter season, the summer season, the rainy season. Okay, now we will do the answer the following question. What is a drought? So what is called drought? I told you, condition. Drought is a condition of a absence of rain for a long time. Okay, when for a long time there were no rain on a place, that condition is called drought. Okay, now drought. Okay, this is called drought. Now what is weather? Weather is the state of the atmosphere of a place for a short period of time. I told you it can change frequently. It can change maybe after 1 hour or 2 hour, or in the evening or morning or night, or 1 day after, 3 day after, and also 1 and 2 month after. Okay, so weather is the state of the atmosphere of a place for a short period of time. Now question number 3, what is climate? Climate prevails over a large area and for a long period. Okay, now see, write 3 seasons of the India according to climate. So the winter season, the summer season, the rainy season. We have 3 type of season according to climate in India. Main season we have 3. Now which winds bring rain? So easy, I told you, the winds coming from the sea bring rain because they have moisture. Now question number 6, write some factors which affect the climate. So the climate depends upon many factors like height, latitude, distance from sea, and direction of winds, etc. Okay, so students, our exercise of this chapter in revision sheet is completed. If you have any doubt, please note down it in your notebook, and you have to compulsory ask me your doubt in our online lecture. Okay everyone, so now take care, goodbye, and in your homework complete the exercise of revision sheet, exercise of chapter 7 in your revision sheet. Okay everyone, now take care beta, goodbye.